Good morning, guys. This is day 4 of our camping trip at Governor Dodge State Park here in Wisconsin. Jen's making breakfast in the camper this morning, and she's making French toast and sausage, and I can smell it. It smells wonderful. Ooh.
I have breakfast for you.
I told you I could smell it. Okay, there we go, guys. Look at that. French toast. The sausage is still on the griddle, but the French toast is done, so I'm going to start digging in. A little syrup on my French toast. I tell you, I haven't had French toast in a long time. I think the last time I had it, I was camping. Very simple recipe. Just whisk up a couple of eggs, a little powdered sugar, or a little brown sugar, a little cinnamon in the eggs. Dip the bread in it, let it soak up for a little bit, put it right on the skillet and just fry it. Okay, guys, so breakfast is done. That was really good. French toast and sausage, syrup. Jen, of course, excuse me, still got the burps from it. Jen, of course, puts blueberry jelly on her French toast. She does it on her pancakes, on her bagels, on pretty much anything. But we're kind of sitting here and just talking about, what are we going to do today? Technically, this is our last day here. And I thought we still had tomorrow to go. So this is actually our last day. That sucks. I don't know if I want to get out on a hike. We've been talking about it. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I woke up this morning and my back was just killing me. I'm going to take some ibuprofen, see if that helps, but we'll see. I would like to get on another hike today, but I just can't guarantee it. If anything, it might just be walking the dog around the park, just around the campground. There is a small trail area that we can go to. It's over by a knee point, and it's called the Pine Bluff Trail.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think the trail is like a total of like 5 miles, but there's also a loop involved. So if I do just the loop, I think it's only around 2.5 miles. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now, but again, I'm just not sure. If I can get my back to loosen up and feel better, then I'll probably do it. But if not, I'll just stick around camp and whatever. Lunch
Annoy
today.
the wife.
Yeah, annoy the wife. Lunch today is just going to be leftovers. And Jen goes, "Oh, I got dibs on the last hot dog." And I was sitting there thinking about other stuff that we have, and I asked Jen, "Do we have a tomato?" She's like, "Yeah." Okay, I'm going to have BLTs because I know there's leftover bacon, and she's got some romaine lettuce in the fridge. She's like, "Damn." She's like, "Why didn't I think of that?" So, yeah, she's going to have the last hot dog and some pasta salad. I'm going to have at least one BLT, maybe even 2.
And some pasta salad.
And some pasta salad. We got a lot of that left.
I still think you should have one of those ears of corn, too, and you can get rid of that.
Quite possibly. We'll see. She always brings way too much food. I mean, oh my God, the amount of food that we had the other night for dinner is just like, really? Had I think it was the hot dog meal. The hot dogs and corn on the cob.
And the pasta salad.
And I thought that was going to be it. And then all of a sudden she brings out this big, huge pasta salad on top of it. I'm actually surprised you didn't bring out the bag of Doritos. See, she's sitting there over there going, I almost did.
You could have. I actually didn't even think about it.
So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go, and we're going to start enjoying our day. Okay, everybody, since this is more of a relaxing day and we don't know exactly what we're going to do, we decided that we're going to show you some of the stuff that is found here in our campground area. This is that Twin Lake Valley campground. So we are going to show you the 4 different types of sites they have in this campground.
Hold on,
And a few other things too. Curtis, the camp host here, came by on his side-by-side 4-wheeler thing, and what he does every morning, he'll ride through the camp, usually about 10:30, 11, maybe even later. I think it's coming up on 11 now. But what he's doing is he's going through, and all the fire rings in the campsites, he cleans them. Okay, so he's taking out ash, big chunks of unburned wood, garbage that people have thrown in there. He's busy. I've never seen a camp host that diligent on making sure that everything's picked up. I mean, he even goes above and beyond. I've actually seen him in a campsite picking up little pieces of like cigarette butts or some little trash that was laying on the ground. You know, he's just got one of those little pincher claw things, so he doesn't have to bend over. He just, pushes it down there and picks it up and puts it in a little bucket. I just had to go on about Curtis. He's been phenomenal. He's a friendly guy, likes to talk. So. But what I want to do in this part of the video is I actually want to show off our campground. Not just our site, but the campground. I'm not going to show you every site on the campground, okay? But I want to show you the main aspects of this campground. There are 4 types of campgrounds in this, or there's 4 different types of campsites in this campground. Got it? Okay, so we're going to start off with what a lot of the websites out there for the Wisconsin State Forest area, or the DNR, or whatever you want to call it, the Wisconsin State Parks system calls a standard site. Okay, now this here is right across the road from ours. It's number 280. Okay, and it's a standard site. So you got a nice wide pad, fairly level, going all the way across. You get 1 picnic table and a fire pit. Now this is big enough. You can pull your car or truck into here. You can pitch your tent over here if you want. The family sits at the picnic table. You cook your food in the fire pit. You got trees you can hang clotheslines from. It's a pretty good site. And this is indicative of what you're going to see. Now this one's kind of got an L shape to it, so the driveway's coming out this way and then it kind of turns and goes that direction. Most sites aren't quite like that. They might be more like a lollipop, where you get a nice long driveway, but then you get like a little circly area as the main area. But this is indicative of a standard site. Pull in, place to put your tent, place to put your vehicle, 1 picnic table, and a fire pit. Okay, that's what you usually get. Okay, now I want to show you guys, and I don't want you guys to freak out. Oh, that's disgusting. Why are you doing that? I'm doing it for information for you guys, okay? This park has pit toilets, or some people may call them vault toilets. Basically, it's a toilet bucket, basically, and a metal urinal that drops into a pit in the ground, okay? So when you do your business, that's where it all goes. And I want to show you what they look like. These are unisex bathrooms, so it doesn't matter who goes and uses them. You get a metal urinal and a bucket style toilet. And again, yes, they can stink, and there can be bugs in here.
There is no plumbing.
There's no plumbing, no running water, no heat. So if you got to use it in the winter, it's going to be a cold sit. But either way, they're fine. It's good. It's decently clean. They get pumped out on a regular basis. So just get over it. If you don't want to use that, there are flushable toilets here on the grounds as well, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
To make pit toilets work effectively, you do need to close the lid on the toilet when you're done.
Absolutely, that's the big thing. It seems like people will use them and leave the toilet seat and the lid up. You gotta make sure that you're closing it. Just think of it as that's your way of flushing, okay? You gotta close the lid so that all the bad fumes, or the vast majority of them, actually exit through the exhaust on the top. Okay, you'll see a big pipe going up through the corner of the room, and that's what that is. It's to vent off the sewage gases. Here is our next site. You can probably see it on the sign over there. This is number 284, and it's got a little E on there. That means it's an electric site. Again, fairly standard looking site, big and wide. You can pull your camper trailer into this area here. Now this one has the electrical tower over here, but sometimes they'll be over here. So this one's got it on the left side, this one's got it on the right side. But again, you get one picnic table and one fire ring. And of course, you can move that picnic table around. It doesn't have to sit here. If you want it over here, that's fine. You can do that too. You know, just move the table. So we were talking with Curtis, the camp host here, and he says that all the sites along this older area that we're in all have 30 amp services. So your power tower over here, that's going to be 30 amp. However, there is a new area that they just put, well, it's not a new area, but they just electrified a bunch of new sites, and those are a 50 amp service. So on the DNR, or the Wisconsin's Parks and Recreation page, they will have the amperages listed on the site information. You can actually look up the information for each individual site and make sure that you get what you need, okay? All right, just down the road is another campsite. This is number 288E. So again, the E means it's electric. And as you can see, the electric post is off to the right. And I actually want to show you what the electrical systems look like here. So basically you just lift up the lid, and in here you have, this is your 30 amp connection right here. So you just plug your 30 amps right there. You also have two standard house outlets here that you can run. If you pull in and you plug in and you're not getting power, you got to check these breakers here. As you can see, this one is actually turned off. So when you plug in, you got to make sure you flip that on. Don't you, dear? Because isn't that what you messed up?
That's what I did, yes.
Jen's like, I know how to plug it in. Okay. And then 10 minutes later, we have no power yet. No. And she's like, what's going on? We don't have power, because she forgot to flip that on.
It was like hours later.
Okay, yes, it was hours later because we weren't really using our electrical until that point. But either way, she was sitting there, I know what I'm doing. And no, she doesn't.
Hey.
All right, guys, here's another feature to these campgrounds. We got a water spigot here, okay? We got a simple little bubbler, so all you gotta do is push the little button on the side there, and then you can get a drink, maybe even fill a water bottle or something. Or if you've got a big jug, you use the one down here and watch Missy get a drink. That was good. But yes, that is completely safe, potable water, and the water source gets tested every year. Oh, thank you.
Would you like to meet our dog?
All right, guys, so this is what we will call the bathhouse. It is the running water bathroom, okay? These have the flush toilets, it has showers. I'm going to take you inside, hopefully not disturb anybody, but I want to show you what they look like inside. Again, got a bubbler on the outside. Women's have their own, of course. And here's the men's side. I, of course, will take you in the men's. And I'm sure everything will be the same as the women's minus urinals. Okay, so here's the bathroom. This one here has got 2 sinks, running water, 2 urinals. Just hit the black buttons to flush. 2 toilet stalls. Again, just hit the black button to flush. The noise you're hearing, by the way, is the air vent up there on the roof ceiling. It helps to keep the moisture out of here as well. And then the showers are actually pretty good size. The little knob down there, you just push that in. The water will spray out for probably about 15 to 30 seconds, somewhere in there. Usually it's pretty decent temperature. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's a little cool. You got hooks to hang stuff on. You got a bench here to sit on and change. You got a couple more hooks there. Got a mirror here. Mirror here. So, looks like somebody left a t-shirt and a bandana. Yeah. So yeah, pretty standard bathroom, really. Pretty honest, they didn't give you a power outlet. So if you have an electrical razor or something like that, just shave and away you go. So very nice bathrooms, and as you can tell, very clean. All right, yeah, still maybe a few spider webs here and there, you might get some flies or something, but hey, it's a good, usable bathroom. Now just outside the bathrooms is this little informational kiosk, and I mean just outside, there's the bathroom right there. And this informational kiosk will have anything from the campgrounds to the full Governor Dodge State Park, and even up here, naturalist programs. So they will have summer programs maybe for kids and stuff like that that you can do, and all that information will be posted up here as well. Okay, so Jen and I have basically walked out of our campground. I mean, quite literally, that's the campground right here. We're on the very edge of it. There's campsites down through here. Just on the other side of the trees, you might be able to see the camper over here. That is your camp host. It is site number 200. But this is basically the main drag to the campground. And just outside of the campground is this beautiful little playground area. You got swings, playground sets over here, a couple of picnic tables. It looks like there's even a lending library box over here too, so you can go take advantage of that as well. Jen was actually down here the other day, and all along this tree line here were printed pages of a book, and it was like Ragweed's Farm Dog Diaries or something like that. And yeah, so they do things for kids, you know, just come down here, and every once in a while there might be a children's book with pages all sprued out throughout that tree row. But as you can see, there's a bit of contour to the ground here, but I mean, the playground is all on level ground. The swing set's on level ground. That little roller thing way back over there is on level ground. So yeah, nice park, it really is. All right, we got a couple more sites to show you. Come on. All right, so coming up here, you'll notice a little bit of a parking area, and that's for these walk-in sites. So basically, you have to park your car here, and then you walk your stuff down the trails. Usually they're not very far, and they are primitive style campgrounds, meaning they're simple. They're the standard campground. So you come down the path a little bit, kind of gets you away from the road, and then you have your standard campsite. You know, maybe you can put your tent here, or maybe put one down at that end. But you got your fire ring and your picnic table. All right, the other walk-in site, as you can see, there's 2 signs here. The path divides, so one goes down that direction, and then the other site goes down that path. But it'll still be the same thing, picnic table and a fire ring. All right, everybody, here is another type of site. As you can see, the number on the post has 273E and 274E. It's because these are what's called a double site. Now, a double site is bigger because it is technically 2 sites. So you have 2 electrical posts out here. You have 2 picnic tables, but you only have the 1 fire ring, okay? These sites are for if you got up to maybe a dozen people wanting to go, because you can only do 6 people tops per site. Say you're camping for a family get-together or something, and there's 2 trailers, or maybe there's a couple of tents involved or something. You have a big enough area to cover the trailer or the multiple tents or whatever, and you have enough picnic tables and bench seating for everyone here. The downside is you cannot reserve half of a double site. When you reserve a double site, you reserve both portions, okay? So don't sit there and think that, oh, I'm going to get 274E and I won't worry about the other one. No, you have to reserve the other half as well in order to get this space. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I think it's confusing of why they did it this way, but it is another way of camping. And in fact, on the other side of the campground, there is a double site that a small family is using. They have 2 trailers in their site. They've got 2 big gazebo style screen tents. I think they even have a person in a spot across the road from that as well. I think they're all together because there's like 3 or 4 sites of campers right there, and I think they're all technically together. So this is an electric double site. They do have standard double sites as well, just without the electrical posts. All right, so here we are coming up to 276 and 277. Again, this is a double site, so you have to reserve both pieces. Got a nice big driveway here for your vehicles to park. Just beyond the trees here, looks like there's a little bit of a tent pad that you can set up on. In fact, it's probably wide enough to put a couple of tents on, plus maybe even a tent here. You can move the picnic tables out of here and put them closer to the fire ring and put a tent up here instead. I mean, really, these double sites are big and you can move things around. Like I said, you move the picnic tables around to where it fits what you think it should be. I personally would not have these up here. They'd be by the fire ring. I'd have a tent here. I'd put tents over there. You know, you can probably get 2 or 3 tents down that direction too. You know, then you get 2 vehicles in here. I can't remember what the limit on vehicles in the parking area is. I think you can have up to 2, but they have to be fully in the driveway. They can't be extended out into the road, okay? I think that's the rule for that. All right, time to get back to our camp. I've been meandering around here long enough. I'm hungry. I want to eat. All right, back at camp, all nice and sweaty from walking around. And it's warming up quick out here. It is. And the sun's really high and bright and hot. But I wanted to make a quick side note to our little campground tour. And I want to talk a little bit more of the extensive camping abilities here at Governor Dodge State Park. You have an equestrian campground here, so if you're into horse riding, you have a separate campground just for that. I haven't been through it yet, so I don't know exactly what it entails, but I'm assuming that they will have a penned area, maybe a shelter for your horses, along with, you know, standard campground stuff. Now, I have no idea if they have electrical or anything like that, okay? So you're going to do your own research on finding that out. They also have group campsites, and I think it's for campsites, I think it's for camping groups of more than like a dozen or something like that. If you have less than a dozen, you can use one of the double sites that I've already showed you. And then individual sites like what we have can hold up to a max of 6 people, okay? So there are limits, so make sure that you use the right campground or campsite for your needs. I was talking with the camp host Curtis, and he was saying that they also have a backpacking site here. And it's like, oh, you mean the walk-in sites? He's like, no, 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 no. He goes, this is a backpacking site, so you have to carry your gear in by a mile or a mile and a half or something like that in order to get to the campsite. And he didn't say anything about it being reservable, or if it's just something that you can show up and just go to. I don't know. I really don't. So that's all your camping options here at Governor Dodge State Park. Everything from standard to doubles to electric, the equestrian to the groups to the backpacking to the walk-ins. That's a lot of options there. Okay, so Jen and I had our lunch, and we sat around camp for a little while, just kind of talking and figuring things out. And we decided we needed to drop some garbage, so we had to make a run in the vehicle to the dump station, tossed out a bag of garbage. We wanted another bundle of firewood, so we came up to the ranger station to get that. That's actually where I'm at now. And then after we're done here, we're going to run over to a knee point, and we are going to walk at least a portion of Pine Bluff Trail. And I had it in my head on how the distance was going to work out, but I kind of forgot. So I'm going to have to double check. I'll put it down here when I figure it all out. So yeah, our next stop is a knee point. Okay, so Jen actually just came back, and we were really curious on the pronunciation of a knee point. Is it a knee, or is it e-knee, or is it a nay, or a knee? We were just trying to figure it out. And apparently she was telling me the correct pronunciation is e-knee. So it's e-knee point. But apparently a student in the geology department over at the UW College, University of Wisconsin. Okay. They came out here and did a study on e-knee point, and apparently they're able to determine the ocean level and where it fell on E-knee Point. So there's a line somewhere in E-knee Point that is a former ocean level. That's cool. Okay, we got our wood. Time to go to E-knee Point.
Like eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
All right, so you guys remember this spot from the other day? It's E-knee Point, not a knee, E-knee. All right, Jen also wanted to get a picture of this cool old well here, so it's a little pump action. All right, she got that, so let's get on the trail. Let's go. Okay, so the hike starts crossing a little wooden bridge over a creek, and we start our hike. Let's go. Let's do this.
Hike this 2-mile loop and see one of the oldest and most diverse landscapes in the world.
Cool. Yeah, these cliffs are huge. All right, let's get going. Now, the description in the park paper said that there are rocky sections, there are steps and steep inclines. Jen said she will do her best. All right, guys, so as you can see, Jen's out walking in front. She's the one setting the pace. That's a pretty cool fallen piece of timber there. All right, we got to the steps. Jen's doing okay. Told her to take her time. All right, so we climbed all those stairs. Almost to the top though. We got these few stairs here. You might be able to see the handrail up over there. And Jen's catching her breath. I'm not forcing her.
You're not.
I'm trying to let them know that I'm not pushing you. I'm willing to sit here and wait as long as you need. Because that's what a guide does, damn it. Okay, so we're up on the boardwalk. And just below Jen, you can see an archway down there. And down where the gentleman is down there, there is a little sign that talks about that archway. But I am not going to tell you about it, neither is Jen. You need to come out here and read the sign yourself. So let's now catch up to Jen. Jen's going to go that way. I'm going to go over the route. All right, come on, Missy. Up, up. There you go. Good girl. We're almost to the top. Jen is still chugging away. We did have to stop a couple of times.
3 so far.
A couple, yeah. 3 is a couple. All right, guys, we actually made it to the top here. And now we're going to be going out to Pine Point. Okay, so we have reached Pine Point. And as you can see, the trail does continue here off to our right. But there is a large rock structure up here that you can climb up if you want. I might go check it out. I'm sure Jen wouldn't mind the break. Okay, so I'm going to go climb. All right.
Sorry about that. Okay, let's go. Come on.
That's a nice little platform. The overlook is kind of because of the trees. All right, trying to decide if that will be the easier way or coming over here would be the easier way. I think I'm kind of liking over this way.
No, Missy, stay.
Whew. Steep, but doable. She asked if I had a good view of the lake up to here, but not really. There's just so many trees in the way. All right, I'm just going to walk around up here and see if there's anything interesting. All right, so I've been following these little trails through the top up here, and I think I'm coming out to the exact point. This is Pine Point. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'll try to hold you guys out just a little bit. There's the view down. You can see the lake through the trees down there. I think that is Cox Hollow Beach across the way. You can probably see the sandy spot over there. You guys know how much I hate standing next to cliff faces, you know, right on the edge of the rocks. I just don't like doing that. But I do it for you guys so you can get the shots and stuff. So I'm conquering my fears little by little in order to please you all. Boy, is that a cry for an attention or what? All right, guys, after Pine Peak, Pine Point, sorry, came all the way down to the lake surface. As you can see it right there, there's actually a little sandy spot. So we've actually come down in elevation, but we know that the intersection that we need is back up towards the top. So we're going to be regaining all the elevation again. Jen wanted to turn back. I kind of talked her into it, and she says, okay, I'll go with you guys. And now she's going to be pissed at me for the rest of the night.
Possibility.
Okay, but my battery's running low, so I don't know how much more recording I'm going to do for this little hike. We've got maybe 3/4 of a mile left. I don't know, something like that. Sounds about right. But I'll bring you back out if I see something really interesting. Otherwise, in your head, you can just imagine us trudging along through this dense forested area. just getting inundated with mosquitoes. Yeah. All right, guys, look at this. We got a nice little lakeside view that cleared out for us. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, guys, we are now at the wide portion of the triangle, and we're heading back to Eni Point parking lot. This is well overgrown, and the mosquitoes are just relentless through here. We have spray, but it's like the spray does nothing to them. I'm getting a little worried with Jen and her breathing, because this cross section here, this trail segment seems like it's almost all uphill. Okay, we made it back to the boardwalk crossing. There is a little bit of a trickle stream here. I didn't notice that when we came up. But just below us is the arch right under there. And we've got a bunch of stairs that will lead us down this way, down the hill. Almost to the car. That Pine Cliff Trail was horrendous. Oh, I didn't think it was going to be that difficult and that hilly. It was nasty. It really was. But
It was rough.
Jen was a trooper. She made it all the way around. Just the triangular portion of the trail. But still, I mean, that was extremely hard climbing and stuff like that, and she did it. We stopped several times, of course, but she did it. So,
I'd walk like 50 feet and have to stop again.
you know, when you have lung problems, that's what you have to do sometimes. Missy made it, and look at that. She's already over there sleeping on the floor. She was doing really good too. You know, the trail was narrow, and you know, she just basically stayed right between Jen and I. And I think she was actually thinking that Jen was in a little bit of a distress with her breathing, because she was actually wanting to walk with Jen instead of with me. So, but at the same time, she wasn't unruly or anything like that. You know, I could control her, you know, and keep some distance, so Jen had space to move and all that. So it was a tough hike. But now that we're back at the camp, we can relax. We can strike the match and start the fire and get dinner made.
I think I want to shower first.
You want to shower first? I'll let her shower first. Okay, fire is lit. I've got a lot of wood to burn up, so I lit the fire pretty early. But at the same time, you know, I just want to sit here and chill out in front of the fire. But I also want to make sure that I've got a good bed of coals, because I'm going to do steaks over the grill. Plus I'm also going to do baked potatoes and roast those actually in the fire as well. So I just need to make sure that I've got a really good coal base so I can cook those items. The potatoes will probably take 30 minutes or so. I think we have 2 russets and a sweet potato. I'm using the russets, and they're a decent sized potato. They're not really huge, you know. They're maybe that long and maybe about that big around. They're not huge. Jen's got a sweet potato that she wanted roasted off, and I think she's going to still do the foil wrap on them. So again, I'll just throw it in the fire and roast it like a regular potato. And then the steaks, of course, I'll put those on the grate. I could do the steaks via the direct coal method, but I'm not going to this time. So yep, just sit here and wait for the fire to die down a little bit and get that nice whole base for cooking. All right, got the potatoes on. You can see the little foil balls in there. Those are our potatoes. They've been on for maybe 5 minutes. I've already rotated them once. I'll rotate them a couple more times yet. Okay, so you can see along the back edge over here, I've got my potatoes set off to the side. Those are fully cooked now. I threw a couple extra logs on here just to get a little flame action. And now I'm going to lower down my grill grate So we'll control it with this little thing right here. Lower it down to where it's just above the flames. Just kind of swing it around a little bit just to get the grill nice and hot. Alright guys, look at that. Got my potatoes way over there off the fire now, just staying warm. Got my New York strips on the grill now. And just put them on there, so I'll give them maybe 5 minutes or so. And then I'll flip them over, give them another 5 minutes, and then dinner should be ready. Alright, so 5 minutes later, got them all flipped, and everything is looking really good. I'm liking the char, especially on this one right here. Oh, that's so nice. Okay guys, dinner is served. Steak, baked potato, sweet potato, done in the fire, on the coals, the potatoes anyway, and then quickly seared off the meat on a fresh fire. Then Jen's also got some green beans mixed with some corn. The green beans are garden fresh beans that my friend Berto gave us. So yeah, I'm hungry. Let's eat. Missy's on my side over here going, hey, do I get some of that? No, you don't. So yeah, my potato it's nice and soft. That looks great to me right there. Got some butter here.
I forgot the sour cream.
She forgot the sour cream. How dare she?
I don't need it.
Alright, so I got some butter on mine. I'm sure she's going to put butter on her sweet potato. I did salt and pepper the potatoes before I put them in the fire, but I'm going to put just a little more pepper on mine. Not much.
Ooh, that feels nice and soft all the way through.
Sour cream on your sweet
Honestly,
potato?
I might try that because the sweet potato can go either way.
Alright, I'm going to cut off a piece of meat here. That looks good. It's a little pink in the middle yet. I also used some of the Creole Cajun seasoning that we used the other night on the pork. It goes really good on the steak here too.
He's making mashed potatoes on his plate.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. Take a baked potato, add butter and sour cream, put it in a blender or a mixer, you have mashed potatoes.
This is very good. Would you like a bite?
Alright guys, we're going to sit here and finish up dinner. Maybe I'll bring you back out and maybe we'll do pudgy pies.
We'll see how full we are after supper.
This is a big meal, so we'll see how full we are. We could end up doing s'mores, but we are going to have movie night again. I got the TV sitting on the side of the camper over there, and I think we're going to watch Monsters, Inc. tonight. Okay guys, it's movie time. It is the next morning, as you can probably tell, and we have had a wonderful time here. And I really want to thank you all for coming along and enjoying the adventure with us. It's been a blast. Hiking the trails, seeing the sights. This park has so much to offer. It is just ridiculous. So I just want to say again, thank you for coming. If you have any concerns or just anything, any negative thoughts about, oh, I can't do stuff like that, you know, or maybe you're trying to get into it, but you just have those little fears that keep popping up in your head. And all I can say is always believe that everything's going to be fine. You know, think of it this way, that there are things that are going to go wrong. It won't go perfect, okay? But the things that go wrong are usually the stories that you can tell people. You know, you can sit there and say, oh, you know, yeah, we got there and it rained for 3 days out of our 4-day trip, but you survived it. Okay, that's the main thing, is that you survive those little errors, those little setbacks. So yeah, always believe that everything will be fine. So this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. Always believe. Always believe in yourself, your spirit, your mind, your body. Always believe. Bye, guys.